This is Pod Populi.
Podcast for the people.
The Great Love Debate. It's the Great Love Debate.
The Great Love Debate. It's the Great Love Debate.
Hi again, everyone. It's Brian Howie. Welcome to the Great Love Debate, the world's number one dating and relationship podcast. Since 2015, I am here in the very fine studios of Pod Populi, podcast for the people. I am at the one in Scottsdale, Arizona, but I'm going to take you guys on a trip. I just said this is the number one dating and relationship podcast since 2015. Somebody asked me the other day, which is the favorite episode of this podcast I have ever done, which one, if you had to put one in the time capsule, holds up. And some people would be like, oh, that's like picking your favorite child. I'm not a parent. I think you can pick your favorite child. I think everybody has a favorite child and they just don't want to admit it. But this episode goes back 5 years. I took a listen to it to see if it holds up. It's very relevant now because I did an episode a couple weeks ago about how lousy everybody has become at interacting on dates and how that just drove me nuts that nobody now said a face-to-face. So this episode was done pre-COVID, before we lost our minds. This was done in 2019. I had as my compadre on this show, the person who is probably more responsible for this show being successful than anybody else, my producer, the two-time Emmy Award-winning Keiko, and we sat down and we gave you a little glimpse of what we believe is the key ingredients to dating success. So I'm going to revisit this now. You can call this cheating. You can call this a rerun. I'm saying that this is content that is relevant today. We're resurfacing it. We're repurposing it. And we are bringing to you now. So enjoy. Hi again, everyone. It's Brian Howie. Welcome to the Great Love Debate, the world's number one dating and relationship podcast since 2015. With me, not as always, but as preferred, the two-time Emmy Award-winning Keiko.
Hey, hey.
And she may regret being with me this time, because we will get to in a minute. So I met up with an old friend of mine about a week ago, Sarah Gore. She's a TV personality. She covers a lot of things. She hosts a couple of TV shows around the country. And she's been on this podcast before. She did the podcast with me that we did from the Carlisle Hotel about a year ago. So go check that out if you want. Anyway, I asked her how her marriage was going. And she said, great. And that's always lovely to hear. And I was very happy for her. And I asked her what was great about it, because too many times I hear it's going okay, or we like the kids, and I never really got a good answer. But she gave me a great. And she explained that her husband is a documentarian, which means to her and to me that he is always curious. And we talk about curiosity on this podcast all the time. It's a really, really important thing. And so every day it feels to her like he is making a documentary about her, which doesn't mean that he's like popping a camera on her when she's doing her makeup. It just means that he's trying to figure her out and learning her and learning about her and asking things of her. And I thought that was a really good thing for her and a good thing for their marriage and a good quality to have. And as we have said many, many times on this podcast, we've even done a couple episodes on it, curiosity is not only an attractive quality, it's a really valuable quality. I ask questions for a living. Keiko asks questions for a living. We really value learning people. And Keiko will ask a question of anybody in the world. I value learning people, certain people, a little bit less than Keiko. But she really will ask a question from
Anybody.
Uber driver, guy at the fruit stand, President of the United States. She will ask anything of anybody. So we really value learning people and trying to unravel the layers that make people tick and make people think and make people live and ultimately make people love. So first and foremost in this podcast, we're in the curiosity business. That's what drives us. That is the unifying factor in all aspects of the Great Love Debate. And secondly, we are in the conversation business, and a conversation that has no end that anyone can participate in, and all are welcome and all have a place. And third, we are in the opinion business, because opinions matter, because opinions are passionate, and opinions are personal, and opinions spark conversation and debate and discussion and depth, and all of that flows from opinion, which flows from conversation, which flows from curiosity. But fourth, and we have been dragged a bit grudgingly into this at the Great Love Debate over the last few years, We are in the advice business, and sometimes that means killing bad advice, and there's a lot of bad advice out there, and sometimes that means giving fresh advice and better advice and more practical advice and advice that comes from curiosity and the conversation and the opinions and the feelings and the experiences of the literally tens of thousands of people who've been a part of the Great Love Debate over the last 6 years and the more than 20 years I've been producing content about the male and female dynamic, and over the I don't know how many years Keiko has been asking questions of people. So some of that has trickled into the fact that we have some things to say and we have some questions to ask and we have some information to give. So the thing that triggered this for me was not just my conversation with Sarah. It was every once in a while, meaning hourly, somebody will send me a article, or somebody will send me a YouTube video, or somebody will send me a meme or a blog about something that has to do with the love and the search for love and blah, blah, blah. And the thing that has been sent to me the most, where it says, what do you think of this, over the last few years, has been this thing. It was initially in the New York Times, and it was an article called The 36 Questions That Lead to Love. Keiko, have you ever seen that thing?
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's centered on the 36 questions that lead to love. And the premise behind it is if you ask these 36 questions, you're going to get somewhere in your relationship, or love is going to spark. And you know what? They don't lead to anything. These questions suck. They lead to stress, and they lead to second thoughts, and they lead to lying, and they lead to insecurity, because the answer to these questions aren't about how I feel about them. It's about how you feel about them, and there's judgment in them, and there is no confidence in them. And the questions claim that they're going to make the other person more vulnerable, but what they're actually doing is making themselves more guarded, because they aren't confident and that these are the right answers, both in terms of how they feel about it, because they're too complex, in the terms of how you receive it, because you're getting graded on how good your answers are. So, like, for example, if you were on a first date or a fifth date or 5 months down the road, and somebody asked you some of these questions, like I'm gonna pull up one of the questions off of this. And again, I'm always one who hates the dinner guest choices and the where's the place you want to travel, because I think you're being judged on your answer. So if somebody asked you, do you have a secret hunch about how you will die? I don't think that's a good thing to think about.
Oh,
I don't think that's a good question. I don't think it's loving. I think you're going to really, and that's one of these 36 questions. Another one, name 3 things you and your partner appear to have in common. Appear from my point of view, appear from your point of view. Like, that's not a good question. That's going to lead to if a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, what would you want to know? I don't want that. That's not fun. It's not playful. It's not romantic. These questions are going to lead to walls going up. So I cannot believe that the traction that this got, I can't believe people were printing this out and going on dates and asking people, and it's absolutely terrible. And it came out of the Modern Love art blog, pod, whatever the whole Modern Love world is in the New York Times.
New York Times,
and
yeah.
I hate it. So I have been working on this for a couple of years now, which is my retort to this, my response, and what came out of this is what I call. Can I have a little fanfare, please?
Da 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 da.
The 23 questions that matter. And these are the 23 questions that matter, because they're going to drive curiosity, they're going to drive personality, they're going to drive vulnerability, they're going to drive creativity, and most importantly, they're going to drive fun between you. And you want questions that lead to love? Start with a spark, and a spark leads to banter, and a banter leads to chemistry, and chemistry leads to love. You got that? I'm tying a lot of threads together here, okay?
All right.
So I came up with these questions. And these questions are designed, if somebody does not want to answer these questions, or they don't feel comfortable answering these questions, then you don't want to date this person. Okay? This is not a person you want to date. So I had to think, who is the most private person I know? Who's the most reserved person I know? Who's the person who really doesn't want to show her cards in any way? And I thought, I'm going to try out these questions for the benefit of our vast Great Love Debate audience and ask these questions. And lo and behold, that person is the 2-time Emmy Award-winning Keiko.
Oh, my goodness. So is that how I ended up in this seat today?
Yeah, that's how you ended up in the seat today. You're like, are we having a guest? No, we are not.
Oh, my
So,
goodness.
Keiko, here's the deal.
All right.
So I'm going to ask you all 23 questions.
Okay.
You have to answer 20 of them. Mean 3 times, and you don't have to, if you don't want 3 times, you can pass.
Okay.
Either because you don't have anything coming off the top of your head or because you don't feel comfortable answering it. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. And I think these 23 questions are not only better than the 36 dopey questions in that thing. These 23 questions, whatever the answers are out of them, if you go through the exercise of asking these questions of your date or your partner or even your fiance, you're going to get closer to them. You're going to have a spark to them. You're going to banter, and you're going to have a really, really good time. Are you ready?
Nice. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Question 1. What do you want in your omelet?
Cheese. Lots of cheese.
That's it. You get 3 ingredients, and the extra one is $1.50. So.
Cheese, and I'm happy to pay another $1.50 for even more cheese.
So you just want cheese?
I just want cheese. Cheese omelet.
Huh. No judgments. So just no vegetables, no mushrooms.
No, just cheese.
You only want cheese in your omelet. Interesting. See, I would have never known. You could date somebody for years and not know that. Okay. What do you want in your omelet? Cheese. Question number 2.
Yeah.
I checked out at CVS, and in my very, very long receipt, I got a voucher for a free candy. What are you picking?
The first one that comes to mind is a Snickers bar.
Snickers?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you... Don't make any apologies for the Snickers bar. Why Snickers? What do you like
I'm
about
not
it?
making any apologies for
nougat?
Snickers.
Is there nougat in Snickers?
I love Snickers. You know what? I'm not even really sure what's in it, but it just seems like it has a lot of variety in it, and I like variety. It's got chocolate, it's got caramel, it's got peanuts.
If it had nougat in it, would you know what nougat is?
Is it that gluey, sticky white stuff?
I don't know. It's only in candy bars.
It's delicious.
Why
whatever.
is it only in candy? I got a lot of
I don't
nougat
know.
questions. That's not one of your 23 questions.
No.
So,
Okay, good.
You only want cheese in your omelet.
Yeah.
And you want Snickers.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3. And some are harder than others.
Okay.
One thing you've never told anyone, but you're dying to tell someone. And now someone's going to be, 100,000 people listening to this podcast. So you might want to think about that if you're confessing to a major crime. Have never told anyone, but you are dying to tell someone.
Oh, my goodness. Let me think about that one. It's such an interesting question. I don't want to use one of my passes on this. Geez, I don't know that I have something I'm dying to tell somebody. I have no murders in my background, just to make that clear.
Right.
I have, nothing that I feel like I need to confess to or that I should confess to or whatever. What would I be dying to tell somebody? The first thing that comes to mind for me is some travel story. But since I talk about my travel stories all the time, I don't know that there's one left that I haven't already told. So,
did something happen on a travel that you've never told, but you're like, I really got to find the right person to tell this to, and it might be 100,000 podcast listeners? Or do you want? You can pass if you want.
Yeah, you know what? I think not because I'm hiding.
You don't think it's a
anything,
bad
to be honest.
question?
I don't
You
think
just
it's a
need
bad
some
question.
thought.
I just need some more thought.
Perhaps on a future podcast, she's going to think of it and reveal it.
Yeah.
So that was question number 3.
Okay.
Question number 4. I don't care if you sing karaoke, although you should. But if you were going to pick a song, what is it?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm not really a singer. As those who know me know.
Karaoke's a different skill.
Yeah, it is. It's just, let's see. I heard actually a guy on the street the other day doing a street karaoke of Desperado, and that's why it's coming to mind. Not because I love that song or know it or anything, but I just heard it, and so that's what's triggering it. Desperado.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you would like to hear Keiko sing Desperado on a future podcast, shoot us an email.
Oh, thank God! I thought I was going to have to sing it
now.
now.
Good choice. I don't like that. Okay. Question 5. I've got the best marinara sauce. I'm going to leave the pasta choice up to you. What kind of pasta are you bringing to my marinara sauce?
Spaghetti.
Just flat out spaghetti?
I love spaghetti.
The spaghetti thickness then? Not the capellini, not the
No,
angel hair?
regular spaghetti. Now, the organic spaghetti, preferably imported from Italy, but definitely.
So you went from very simple to very high maintenance in a real fast second.
I love spaghetti.
So just old-fashioned spaghetti.
Old-fashioned spaghetti.
Good.
No, spaghetti.
See, reasonable. See, I'm learning more about Keiko in these first 5 questions than I have ever learned about Keiko.
I think that's true.
Okay, number 6.
Okay.
What crime could you most likely get away with?
Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. What crime? Let me think about that. What are my choices on crimes? I don't know. Something like probably okay, this isn't really a crime, but something having to do with confusing other people.
Oh, like a Ponzi scheme?
I did no. Like I had to take a bus from one term. Now here, maybe this is the last question. I had to take a bus from one airport to another airport in Thailand, and you couldn't actually do that unless you had a ticket that was leaving from the other airport, which I did not yet have.
Fare evasion?
So
is that the scofflaw?
I think that was
That's
it.
the one you're most likely to get away with?
Well, I did get away with that one.
Okay, you did.
I did.
Bold.
I was
very bold. See, if you ask somebody that and they just look at you and they go murder, you should probably break up with that person.
Exactly.
Or if they have something a little too detailed, break up. So that tells you a lot about Keiko. Very innocent person. Occasionally, she didn't pay her fare in Bangkok, but that's also kind of ballsy because you could risk doing hard time, like Broke Down Palace. I believe that movie was Bangkok. I think they smuggled drugs.
Oh my goodness. No, wasn't anything that bad. All I did was just let the guy know I needed to go to the other airport, and then I talked and laughed a lot, and he couldn't really speak English.
Keiko is a master
he eventually
fare
just
evader.
Waved me on to get rid of me, I think.
Okay. Fare evasion is her choice. I could ask a lot of people that. I don't think that. Good for you. If I need you on the subway and we're going to jump the turnstile.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Number 7. What's your favorite condiment?
Oh, mayonnaise.
Wow.
Yes.
Just boldly mayonnaise.
Yes.
Me too. I would be more embarrassed to say that than you because there's a whole lot of discrimination against mayonnaise.
Well, I'm not embarrassed to say it at all because the reason it's my favorite is that I make it into other things. So I'm particular about it, I will say, and I don't mind giving them a free advertisement, but Hellman's or Best Foods mayonnaise is the only kind that I will actually eat. But
it's weird that one company has 2 names that like split it.
Yeah.
Hardee's and Carl's Jr. are the same way.
I don't understand that. Yeah, that's a business thing. But,
so flat out mayonnaise,
just
no
flat
hesitation.
Mayonnaise, no.
Okay.
I might mix something into it or whatever. But yeah, it's versatile and amazing.
Good. C. Knowing you, I know you're a healthy eater, and I know you're a vegetarian. So the fact that you said mayonnaise, I'm like, oh, there's hope that she's going to eat things that taste good. There's fat in there. Good. Okay. Number 8. I don't want to know your middle name. I want to know your middle name if you could choose it yourself.
Okay. Let's see. Gosh, it's funny you should ask that because you know what? Somebody actually gave me a middle name yesterday because
I'm very prescient.
Do you know why? In real life, I don't have a middle name.
That's a little dicey to go through life with no middle name because when they're like SAT, like everybody sit down and fill out that little bubble and you have to like, did you fake it or did you just look around? What did you do?
When you don't have a middle name, your middle name is X.
X?
For like legal reasons, they need three letters. X is always your middle name if you don't have one. So
weird.
Yeah, so I guess technically speaking, my middle name would be X, but...
Okay, so what is the one you would choose that apparently you were just thinking about this yesterday?
Yeah, somebody gave me one yesterday. I think it was something like Lorelei. It was real pretty. It almost sounded... It was like lyrical and almost sounded like
lyrical would be a
Greek,
wonderful
like
middle name.
Greek goddess
Pleasant?
of some kind. It was,
Pleasant would be a good middle name.
Pleasant. I like that.
Pleasant.
Could I have that one?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
My middle name is Pleasant.
My middle name is Pleasant.
See? Good.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. Thank you for that, by the way.
There's a 2-part question.
Okay.
Valentine's Day or Halloween?
Oh, Valentine's Day.
Oh, no thoughts about it.
No, none whatsoever.
Memorial Day weekend or Labor Day weekend?
Memorial Day.
Why?
Because I think it's a calmer weekend. I think that people are more thoughtful, and it's more about family time and being together. For some reason, I think of Labor Day as being a drinking holiday. I don't know why.
I got news for you.
That's
They're
not
both
my
drinking
thing.
holidays. See,
Yeah,
I
guess.
prefer Labor Day because it means summer's over and it's the start of fall.
Oh, okay.
That's me. Memorial Day, a lot of people means that it kicks off summer. It's good. So
Yeah.
you're Memorial Day, I'm Labor Day, you're Valentine's Day, and I'm probably Valentine's Day too. Okay, number 10. Would you like to see a dessert menu?
Absolutely. Bring it on over.
Number 11. If I went into your closet, how many hats do you own?
I believe I have about 10.
10 hats.
Yes.
Wow, the Mad
Yeah.
Hatter. 10
Uh-huh.
hats. Are they baseball hats? Are they all kinds of hats?
They're mostly they're baseball hats. Yeah. I have some knit caps that my niece made for me because she's a brilliant knitter. She's a fiber artist. But I also have baseball caps. I love caps.
Okay. Number 12. Give me either your best celebrity impression or say, I would like to order a hot chocolate, please, in an accent other than your own. So you have a choice here.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see.
So it's a celebrity.
Okay.
Or it's, I would like to order a hot chocolate, please, in an accent other than your own.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Should I tell you the celebrity first in case I'm not very good at it?
No, we're going to guess it. So you're choosing the celebrity. All right, let's hear it.
Well, I don't know because, I don't really have that many friends and I love my friends, but you know how it is when you're just
Jennifer
trying to-
Aniston.
Yes.
Keiko has a secret Jennifer Aniston impression. Oh my God. I know people who do professional Jennifer Aniston impressions. So that's not good. That was exceptional.
Thank you.
How often do you work on that?
Not very often.
I have an impression I call Sex in the City.
Okay.
Meanwhile, back at Miranda's,
That was pretty
that's
good.
every line of every
Yeah.
episode of Sex in the City.
Yeah.
That's wow, you chose the harder of the two. See, if you're asking somebody these questions and they pull out a secret Jennifer Aniston impression that you've never heard, you're going to be in love with that person. So don't you question
Oh, my goodness.
questions. Keiko's reevaluating her whole life, so she's going to be a Jennifer Aniston impression. Okay. Question number 13. Which relative do you not want to be stuck next to at Thanksgiving dinner?
Oh, wow. That's a really good one. Let me think about that.
Pick one that doesn't listen.
Oh, goodness. Okay. I have a very weird family, but not because I wouldn't want to sit next to them. The truth is because I really adore them. They're
Okay.
so wonderful.
So
I
which
would
one-
be so excited to sit next to
Any of them?
any of them. I'm not kidding you.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds very boring.
I know. That sounds probably...
I'm putting that down as a pass.
I'm okay. You
That's
can
a lame answer.
I know it's so lame, but but you know why? It's because most of my family lives on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And so I don't get to see them often enough. Maybe if I hung out with them, they would drive me crazy or something. But
Okay. So you want to sit next to your mother?
yeah, that'd be all right.
Okay,
I don't
so anybody.
get to hang with her very much.
Okay.
So
no
yeah.
problem. Okay. Fair
love
answer.
my sister.
Reasonable answer. It tells me a little bit about your family and
Yeah.
how all awesome.
Yeah.
Good. But if a guy's dating you, they would be like, "Are you kidding me? I can't believe you sat me next to your Uncle Lou. He's so terrible."
No.
None.
Oh no.
No terrible
No,
Uncle Lou.
my family is
Okay.
so kind to everybody that comes to the house.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Question 14.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a $50 bill or 51s?
51s.
Oh, really? Why?
I just think that people who use large bills are jerks.
Why? I didn't. What do you use? That tells me a whole lot about you.
I
See,
do.
I think I'd rather have a $50 bill, probably because I'm a jerk, but mostly because I think that I'm less likely to spend the 50 as quickly. I think if I have 51s, they're going to go like confetti. If I have that $50 bill, because of people like you, I'm reluctant to pull it out. People aren't going to break change. I think it's going to last longer. So I'm a little more frugal with my $50 bill.
Oh, that's very interesting. See, well, this is an interesting question because I wasn't thinking of it from that point of view at all.
Yeah, I don't judge how you think about it. I'm like, what's your answer? Yeah,
no, I like the 51s because maybe for the opposite reason, because they're easy to spend, but because it's not a problem for other people. It's not a problem for a shopkeeper. If I have a one, I can get on a bus. If I had, I just think ones I can give it to a homeless person. The ones
I want to look at a homeless person and say, sorry, I've only got big bills.
Yeah, see that? No, I want to give them the one.
I've never tried that. Now I really want to do it.
Yeah, you want to
you got a few bucks? I only got large bills.
Yeah, no. Oh, that's terrible.
Is it terrible?
That's jerky.
It's honest.
No, it's
but
awful.
I do only have large bills.
That's terrible. It's
That's not my fault.
Terrible. You want to give a one to a busker on the street?
Who's on the 50?
Ones are really
do you know
practical.
Who's on the 50?
You know what my sister does? I'm going to tell you this. When she uses $1 bills and $5 bills as bookmarks in her books, and then when she returns them to the library, she'll put it in there when she returns the book, and whoever finds it is going to be so happy. Finding $1, I mean, it seems like it's
what a rich person would do.
No, she's not rich either, but it's just to bring a little bit of joy to somebody's day. I mean, is a lovely thing to do, and a $1 bill is such an easy way to do that.
I'll take a big wad of ones like a stripper.
I want a big wad of ones.
Like you came back from the club,
yes.
and you want to make it rain with a bunch of ones.
Okay, yeah.
I want the 50. Do you know who's on the 50?
Who?
Do you have any guesses?
I don't. Is it Andrew Jackson?
Guesses? This is not one of the 23
Andrew Jackson
questions.
On the 5?
If one of the 23 questions is who's on the $50 bill, she's going to dump you. So don't ask that. This is a sidebar. This is a Brian Howie question. Who is your guess?
Andrew Jackson.
No.
Is he the 5?
Ulysses Grant.
Oh, Grant is on the 50.
Grant is on the 50.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there you go. See?
Okay.
Fun fact.
I didn't
Fun
know Grant
fact
made
from the Great Love
50.
Debate. Okay. Question 15.
Okay.
For 1 year, as your car, would you rather drive a hearse or a smart car?
A smart car.
Just flat out.
Yeah.
Even though you don't like to feel safe in a little tiny freak car that's like a golf cart.
Yeah.
No hearse for you.
No hearse.
Too creepy?
Yeah, I just, you know what? I'm going to get my turn in the hearse someday. I'm not.
You're like, I'll ride in the back.
Wait.
I won't ride in the front.
I will wait. Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. On that macabre note, question 16. What animal are you most afraid of?
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so I am afraid of those nasty monkeys that they have. Yeah,
nasty?
I hate nasty
monkeys. Is that the
scientific
term, the nasty monkey?
It might just be like brown monkeys or something like that, but there are wild monkeys that are all over the place in a number of the countries that I have frequented. Like, for example, Thailand has got tons of wild monkeys all over.
They also have Komodo dragons.
India, also tons of wild monkeys, and they're mean. And I went to Malaysia recently, and there were tons of wild monkeys there, and it's so weird because the tourists all go, "Oh, cute monkey," and they want to go up to them and play with them. I have a friend who got attacked by 5 of those monkeys. They attack each other. You can tell by looking at them. They have giant teeth, giant claws.
So of all of the animal kingdom, the
attack monkeys.
The attack monkeys.
Yes.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah, I'm good with everything else. The Komodos, I'm good.
Okay, good. Interesting answer.
I stay out of their way, but the monkeys, they will come and get you.
Question 16.
Yeah.
And I've asked this in our live show a few times, and I always get the certain answer, but jailhouse weapon of choice, a lock in a sock or a shiv?
Oh, golly. Okay, so I believe that my answer on that is going to be I'm going to change my answer. I just
From what? The other times in life you've thought about this? When you're working on your Jennifer Aniston impression, you sometimes think about your jailhouse weapon of choice.
No. I went back and forth like 10 times in my head real fast while you were waiting for my answer. And at first I thought it was going to be the lock and the sock, but I don't think that I could stop someone with a lock and a sock. I think I could only hurt them.
You couldn't swing it hard enough?
I don't think so. But I think with the shiv I could, and I'm really small, I'm short, so I could stab him in the leg and then run away.
Okay. See, that tells me something about you, that you're choosing to stab them in the leg as opposed to the heart or somewhere or some vital organ.
Yeah.
You don't want to kill them. You just want to debilitate them.
That's correct.
Okay.
So I
enough.
can run away.
Good answer. Tells me a lot about you.
Yeah.
Okay. Question 18.
Yep.
How much money to give up your pinky toe?
Oh my goodness.
So to go with just 9. How big a check do I have to give you?
Is there a no on this answer that there's no amount?
Yeah, if there's no amount of money,
I mean,
I think you're lying if you say that. If I said here's $1 billion, you would be fine with 9. You don't care about the cute shoes.
I thought of that confession question.
No, too late.
I can't. I don't.
How much? And it's not just cut off; it's surgically removed. There's an anesthetician involved. So.
You mean you can like have it properly removed?
Yeah. How much? I'm buying your pinky toe. How much?
Oh,
what's the price? What's the price for that little thingy?
Golly, boy. I don't know, $10 million?
$10 million? Reasonable answer.
Yeah.
She went from no. The price dropped to a reasonable amount of money. For $10 million, I don't think you would hobble.
Well, that's what I had to go through.
I don't think you would hobble with it. So
I had to go through
you'll
that
go
in my
with
head
9 for $10 million. For 8 figures. That's your price on your 9 digits for 8 figures. That's what we're going with there.
Could I go with 100 million?
No, you said 10, and I guarantee you, if I laid out a briefcase of 10,
million,
you would take
no.
it.
$1 million, you can't get anything for $1 million.
10.
For 10, I could do a lot of good in the world that my toe is going to do less good in the world.
There you go. Question, answer.
Yeah, that would be my reason.
Okay.
Okay.
She's like, I'm judging more of the questions than the answers, but these are good. Okay. Question 19. Who is a celebrity crush from any point of your life that you are embarrassed to admit?
Let's see. Embarrassed to admit. Well, Brad.
Meaning you can't just say like Channing Tatum because that's common.
Well, and Brad Pitt is probably common too.
Embarrassed to admit. Anytime from 0 to now. When you were a child, teen, yesterday, when you were working on your Jennifer Aniston impression, anything. If you said Matthew Perry, then it would be like a weird Friends fetish you had.
Yeah, no. Okay. Let's see.
Celebrity crush that you're embarrassed to admit.
Okay, let's see. I don't think. It really is Brad Pitt, but I'm not embarrassed to admit that. So
nobody
I
would
have
be
to.
Embarrassed to admit that.
No,
right.
I mean he's.
So you don't have one. You didn't have a weird poster on your wall as a child?
No.
Okay.
I did not. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm
dull. It wasn't
dull.
like Engelbert Humperdinck or somebody?
No, are you kidding me?
Ronald Reagan?
Maybe my mother. No. No.
No? So you have none?
No. I just, no.
None that you're embarrassed to admit, or no celebrity crushes?
No, not really.
Are you passing? You have to pass. You have no answer.
I guess
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
So you have no answer.
I already said Brad Pitt is my celebrity crush, but I'm not embarrassed to admit it.
Right.
I don't know who I'd be embarrassed to admit. I mean, I like hot guys.
I like Marie Osmond.
Well, she's an attractive, Yeah. When? Like last year, you mean? Or like when you were a teenager?
Well, now, Now it's Elizabeth Vargas.
Yeah. Elizabeth Vargas. Yeah. That's interesting.
I know.
Yeah.
And she's sober. She's probably not as much fun. But that was always my thing when I lived in New York. People are like, that's weird. That's a weird
now
one.
it's going to sound like I'm copying off your paper, but I guess Donny Osmond.
Okay.
Donny Osmond, yeah. I always thought that he was super cute. And, just over the years, I just always really had a thing for that Donny Osmond.
There you go.
There you go.
We got somewhere.
I know, but you had to pull it out of me.
That's
Thank
okay.
you.
That's part of this. It shouldn't be that easy.
It's a conversation, right?
Okay, it's a conversation.
That's it. Go ahead.
Okay, number 20.
Okay.
We're playing Monopoly.
All right.
Which piece are you playing?
The top hat.
The top hat?
Yeah.
I thought you'd be more of a thimble person.
No, top
Why
hat.
the top hat?
Because it doesn't fall over.
So you don't want your piece falling over.
I don't want it to fall over, and it's fancy.
Oh.
And I feel like Monopoly is kind of like a fancy game.
So you think that the fancier, the iron is not likely to land on Park Place.
Right. I feel like if I'm wearing the top hat.
It's good juju.
It's good juju that maybe I'm going to get the Park Place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 21.
Okay.
What is the most important invention of all time?
That's interesting. What comes to mind for me, oddly, I have no idea, but it popped in my head, where it's the aqueducts in Rome. Yeah, that was a really important invention because I think water is the most important thing on the planet.
I agree with you. I would say running water.
Running water.
And
the aqueducts, they
enable them to harness a water supply.
Exactly. So that
I agree with that answer.
Really?
Yes, that's exactly the answer I would have.
Really?
I wouldn't have been so wise to actually say aqueduct, but I would have said running water, and same thing, indoor plumbing. And that all stems from the aqueduct. So, I think that is. Anybody else who has a different answer out there, I think you're wrong. And I'm going to argue to death on why everything starts with water.
I think we have in common water charities as well, right?
Yeah, I think the only charity you should be donating to is water. Everything starts
Everything starts with water. Water solves all the problems. It's all about the water.
Hear that, my college? I'm not donating to you. I'm donating to the water.
To water charities.
Okay. Number 22.
Yep.
Give me something that you do, think, or believe that at best could be considered quirky and at worst would be considered insane.
About myself? So, like something I like to do
or believe or think.
Or something quirky.
Or nuts.
I do that thing.
Do you believe the crazy monkeys talk to you?
No. It's more docile than that, but it is something that I cannot seem to get away from, and that is that pinch of salt thing. You know, when you spill some salt and you have to take your right hand and throw a pinch of it over your left shoulder. I just feel like my whole life is going to fall apart.
That's your superstition?
That is it.
Will you step on a crack?
That's
Will you go under a ladder?
A what?
Will you walk under a ladder?
I prefer not to.
Okay. But the salt is a no chance you're not?
But the salt is something I can't get away from. I mean, if I spilled some salt and I were in a hurry and I ran out to the car,
right.
I'm telling you, I would feel like I needed to run back in the house, grab a pinch and with my right hand, throw it over my left shoulder, and then run back out to the car. I do not know why.
Wow. That is somewhere between quirky and insane.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're basically throwing salt on the floor.
On the floor.
Yeah.
That's it.
And you would do that in your own home?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Last question, number 23.
Okay.
We are turning your memoir into a movie. What genre would it fall into? What would it be rated? And what would it be called?
Let's see. Okay. So my movie would for sure be a documentary. I'm sorry.
That's no fun. No, documentary's not eligible. I'm banning that.
Why?
Because we're turning it into a movie, and it's starring actors and things. So I'm not asking who would play you.
Yeah.
I'm asking what genre would it be? So.
Oh, I wanted it to be a documentary starring Jennifer Aniston.
She doesn't star in documentaries unless it's the Jennifer Aniston story.
She could host it.
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
It's a travel movie.
Okay, so you want a documentary hosted by Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
So documentaries are generally not rated, but if we were going to rate one, what would it be?
G.
G. Of course it would be. My G-rated documentary hosted by... is this animated? Is it animated? Is it a cartoon? Okay, her G-rated animated documentary hosted by Jennifer Aniston would be called what? Keiko in Captivity? What would it be called?
No. Maybe, Keiko Sees the World.
Keiko Sees the World.
Yeah.
Tickets for Keiko Sees the World, a G-rated documentary hosted by none other than Jennifer Aniston. So it'd be very meta with Jennifer Aniston hosting a segment and you're in a different country doing a Jennifer Aniston impression for Crazy Monkeys. There's a lot going there. I think Jennifer Aniston would like to get Jennifer Aniston on the phone. And there you go. And that is your 23 questions that matter. And if you don't think they matter, you pull these babies out on a date or with your girlfriend or boyfriend and try them out, and you will have a really, really good time.
Can I just say that I haven't laughed this much in one stretch in the longest time?
Right.
Really. This was so much fun.
Right.
Great
I've been
questions.
itching to do this.
Hilarious.
The questions lead to curiosity and banter. It gives me a far greater look into your brain
and me
than anything else. Then what's your favorite color? Then who are your dream dinner guests? Like, I don't want to hear that. Okay, those are dumb questions. So I rarely do that. I'm going to wait a little while. You're going to have to listen to this podcast. Eventually, I'm going to post these on our Facebook page, so you have them handy for you, so you don't have to write them all down. But I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to share these with the world, because we got to stop that stupid 36 questions, because these are the 23 questions that matter. And if you can make each other laugh and really poke at each other's questions, and you only used one pass, I think you only used one because you didn't have an answer, right?
Yeah, and then I think I thought of the answer way later, and I wasn't able to say it because I missed my chance.
Right, but these are you're turning each other's brains on.
Yeah.
So these are the questions. This was the exercise. Yes.
I didn't feel on the spot. I felt like we were having fun.
Because these are questions that you do have an answer to, and the stakes are not right or wrong, but even your guesses turn out to be
something we can both laugh about,
right.
and
it
laughing
shows
feels great.
Yeah, it shows vulnerability in answering this. Shows that you apparently have a really wonderful family, and you definitely want the dessert menu. So if you are taking Keiko out, be prepared for the Jennifer Aniston thing. Hopefully you look like Donny Osmond, and she absolutely wants dessert. Got it? And a lot of mayonnaise. All right, this was fun. As far as us, like, share, subscribe, and as always, please review this podcast, because as you know, these reviews mean a lot in the podcasting ecosystem. Check out our live tour schedule, Great Love Debate. First of all, send us any of your weird answers to any of those questions, or any of those. They don't have to be weird answers. Send us your answers. Send us if you think you have a better question that can crack the 23, and I will swat that thing down like a fly swatter because you don't have a better one. And I started with a pile of like 65. And
Did you?
I honed it down to this.
Wow.
You know what the final one to get in was?
What?
The pinky toe. And the pinky toe is my favorite.
That's a really hard one. That is a really, really hard one.
Well, we know your price. $10 million. Uh-huh. She's got expensive footwear. Toes. Expensive appendages.
I've never
Check
been
out our
on
live
Claire.
tour schedule, greatlovedebate.com. Because as always, at the Great Love Debate,
we never stop making love.
see you next time.